Recording has begun.
Recording has begun. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Shazad Hussain and I live at 20 Primary Way in Undercliff, Bradford. And today it's been 181 days that my brother's been kidnapped from my care and is being held hostage by the local authority, Bradford Council, in collaboration with its partners and associates, particularly West Yorkshire Police. I've not seen my brother for the last 181 days since the 8th of August 2023, and today is the 5th of February 2024. Completely ridiculous. I mean, the situation they've got me facing is absolutely horrendous, and this is I'm just getting a sense of deja vu, because this has happened to me several times before. In 2014 they murdered my brother, in 2022, in January 2022 they murdered my mother, all exactly the same. As a carer, they separate me, put injunctions in place or prevent me from being doing my job as a carer, and then eventually just end somebody's life. That's what they did in 2014 in my brother Nazim's case. They effectively banned me from seeing him in a care home and then eventually killed him off. In my mother's case, they banned me from being anywhere near her for the last 334 days and then killed her off. Now they've banned me from being being with my brother for the last 181 days. And what's going to happen? They're going to kill him off too. So this is just a repeated pattern of behaviour. It's just basically diabolical and horrendous and deplorable. And I've gone through all these adjectives before. It makes no difference. At the end of the day, they do what they want to do. They kill and murder without an impunity, with complete impunity, because of the fact that they have the judges in the back pocket. And interestingly enough, about the judges, I mean, this is the situation that I'm facing now. I'm in court this week on Wednesday. We've got on another trumped-up kangaroo court hearing, but the Judge Wilcox had put some orders in, and one of those orders stated that a capacity assessment must be completed by the 5th of February, which is today. Today is the 5th of February 2024, and yet no capacity assessment has been completed. I've not received anything in the post. I've not received anything like this, and this is the reality, that their orders mean absolutely nothing to them. They can just revise those orders and basically not comply with those orders and revise those orders and do as they please with those orders, because it means nothing to them. If I, as a civilian, was supposed to not comply with the orders, then there are repercussions and consequences to me. And this is the bottom line. The local authority, or this nefarious entity who's buying off the judges, they have no legal consequences to their actions. So their failures have no legal consequences or ramifications to them. What's going to happen to his Bradford Council if they murder somebody? What's going to happen? Are they ever going to be arrested by the police? It's a corporation. It's not one person, is it? Are they ever going to go sit in the dock, answer questions? Are they ever going to be going to prison? Can they be locked up? Can a local authority be locked up? No. None of that happens. So they have, and primarily, especially when you're buying off the judges, and all your judges in your back pocket, and the police is in your back pocket, and everybody else is in your back pocket, and you're terrorizing and being tyrannical towards everybody. Everybody lives in fear of this monstrosity that is a local authority that's causing pain, suffering and misery, and causing endless suffering, particularly to myself and my brother. But like I said, coming back to this, there was an order drafted, and this is not the first time, and this is what gets me as a civilian. I'm on these proceedings. They just ignore the orders. Orders mean nothing to them. They'll ignore them, disregard them, and then just make some pretext and an excuse of. Yet, take the opportunity to vilify me, take the opportunity to smear me in courts, and that all has credibility and value. The slightest little thing I do that's maybe questionable, I guess they make a mountain out of that little molehill, and yet the mountains that exist, they just flatten them out and say, when it's their problems, when their mountains get flattened through a signing off of a judge order, and yet my molehills get elevated in the status of K2 mountains ranges, and that's how they operate. And now 181 days later, I have no idea whether my brother's alive or dead, but he's suffering. He's definitely suffering, because his human rights are being violated. He has no contact with any of his family, namely myself, and it's just ridiculous. And I also now understand that the powers that be are interfering with my sister's banking, because there's been a block on her banking card, which I was been querying today, and it's all very suspicious and all very circumspect, and it's all very to the narrative that's always been pursued and promoted by the local authority. So here we are, Monday the 5th of February, all right, nothing changes. I've not heard anything back from the courts regarding the injunction order that they were supposed to secure on the 22nd of January 2024, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago today, they don't even tell me, they don't even bother telling me. I didn't even go down. I paid my representation in writing. I didn't need to go down because obviously I fear that something nefarious is being planned for me, because I can't trust anybody. You know, if you can't trust the police and the council and the government and the local courts and tribunal and particularly the judges, then you shouldn't trust anybody. There's all kind of fraud and deception taking place. And once again, I'm trying to keep it together for my brother. I know I need to stay strong for my brother. Hopefully I can get him back one day, but it's not looking very good. I mean, the reality is that I leave messages every single day to his social worker, the city solicitor, the housing association solicitor. There is a narrative, there is a collective narrative that's being pursued by these people, and they're giving me the gobbledygook that, oh, they're all independent. And we had this conversation before, haven't we? There's no independence. They're separate, but they're not independent. They're all dependent on each other. Separately dependent. That's a right word. They're separately dependent. There is no independence. That's a falsehood and a scam word that they use to fool you. This is clear propaganda that they use, or convince you that they're separate. They convince you that they're independent. There's no independence, especially when it comes to the local authority and all its associates and puppets. Even my own siblings are not independent from the local authority. They're all dependent on the local authority, and they work in a similar manner. Very, very frustrating. It's very, very heartbreaking. I have to basically come to the realization that I'm never going to see my brother again, and they're going to kill him off, just like I had to come to the realization that they're never going to let me see my mother again. And this is all collective punishment that they are doing towards me and my family, because of the fact that they can't do their jobs properly, and they're falling apart, and they need to now hold it all together. And in order to achieve that, they believe that in order to best achieve that, they can commit acts of aggression, villainy and tyranny against me. Absolutely horrendous and deplorable, as I've said. But we'll see what happens by the end of this week. I mean, the police, obviously, I went down yesterday on the 4th, and they took my number, haven't called me today. They basically don't want to do anything. They don't know how to deal with the situation. This is the thing with these people. They sit back, not do anything, and when they do acts with aggression, they hope that they can achieve something. I'm fully aware how the ambush tactics works, and now they've got they got no way to reverse back out of the situation. So they just plow ahead and end up murdering my brother, or even end up murdering me. So, like I said, I'm not suicidal. I'll never kill myself. And the bottom line remains that if any harm comes to me, is as a direct result of the local authorities' direct or indirect interventions in looking to silence me because of their own systemic failures in adult social care, mismanaging money, and particularly, yeah, it's just horrific. I'm just annoyed, but staying strong. Allah Hafiz.